Hey guys, welcome to Foreplay Podcast, a safe space for all things sex. And remember, if you're ready for sex, you're ready to talk about it.
Hello.
Hello, Christine.
That's all I got.
Hi guys, welcome back.
It's cold as fuck.
Yeah, the studio's still cold, but it's warming up, thank God.
Yeah.
Let's just address, we have a guest, our first guest on the podcast. So,
Thank you so much for being here.
thank you for having me.
Of course. Whoa, that feels so weird.
Yeah.
For everybody that is listening with us today, we have a dear friend, Stephanie Swensrud. Would you like to introduce yourself a little
Sure.
bit?
So I'm Stephanie. Me and Jada go way back. We became best friends in like grade 3, grade 4.
Yeah.
We used to live around the corner from each other.
Meet at the apple tree.
Yeah.
Aw.
And then I met Emily in like grade 7.
Yeah.
And then I haven't met these two lovely ladies since like this year, but yeah. And I did edit the first Foreplay, which
It's
good
true.
times.
Oh my God,
Yes.
We love
And
that.
I was telling Jada about this in the car, but I thought you guys would find this funny that I was like editing it, and halfway through I was like, I'm so fucking horny, and I had to go masturbate.
Yes!
Because like I was just like, you guys are just talking about masturbating and stuff, and I was like, that sounds like a good time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Yes.
Today, Steph is here to walk us through a couple pretty juicy topics. I think we'll have a lot to say. I think you were doing a pretty good job at explaining it, so I'm going to let you explain today's get
Okay.
together.
Well, I am stoked for Beat Ya Meet, but in the Ooey Gooey today, we're going to be talking about just mental health, getting diagnosed, different therapies, also just our experience with therapy, and yeah, we'll have some questions, and we'll just dive on into a common grief and concern that we're excited about. So, first, what's new? What is new, guys?
Oh.
Okay, you know what?
I
never
Maddie.
kick it off.
No, I will listen to you all day long, baby.
Yes. Okay, this isn't really what's new, but I have to tell you guys this story.
Okay.
So, as you guys and the viewers know, I had a threesome. During this threesome, I bonked my head.
Right. Stitches,
Yes.
hospital.
Oh my
stitches.
God.
Just keep that in mind as I'm telling this story. It's so embarrassing. So, last night, my partner and I were like, we're gonna have a couple drinks, put up the Christmas tree,
Yeah.
whatever, watch some movies, and as you guys know, I drank a little too much. Are we
Nice.
surprised? No, we are not. Anyways, so I'm like, I am very fucked up at this point. And I'm like, let's have sex. So we start having sex, and I get on top, and whatever, I'm riding, doing my thing. And again, I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
And I went to put my hands like behind me to like get more leverage,
Yeah.
and I slip backwards, and I knock my head on the dresser. Same exact.
Wait. Hold on, I'm confused.
Can we act it
Her
out?
dresser's at the end of her bed.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're floating back. I was very
I
confused.
went flying. Yeah. So I bonked my head. Whatever. My partner goes to like clean up because that was like literally
Clean up what?
Assess the
like
damage.
yeah. Assess not my head. Like
Oh.
he had
No.
finished.
I thought like blood. I
No.
was like, oh my God.
Went to the bathroom.
Wait. You cracked your head open for a second time. I know you didn't actually, but just for the purposes of the story. And he comes.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
or is it?
Yeah.
Maddie's pretty freaky.
Yeah, true. Slap me across the room.
Literally
Yeah.
break open my skull.
Yes. That's what it is.
Yes.
You didn't slip.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just like getting tossed around. Anyways, so he's in the bathroom, and I'm literally still like laid back with my head against the dresser, and I start crying.
No.
Not again.
Just
Just wait.
wait.
Just wait.
It's too much.
And I'm crying, and he comes up to me, and he's like, "It's okay." Like he's looking at me, and he's like, "You're fine. Like, you're fine, whatever." And he brings me to the bathroom. I sit down on the toilet. I'm like, I just didn't know I had trauma, and I had PTSD from this experience. And he's like trying not to laugh at me.
Oh my God.
Michael
Bublé is still playing.
Anyways, I'm crying and I'm crying. I'm like, babe, I'm sorry. I didn't know I had PTSD. I didn't know it would affect me this way.
Oh
I'm
my god.
crying.
Self-diagnosis when you locked.
And then
Couldn't
whatever.
use the bomb.
Yeah. But
Not for good measure.
at first, I thought he had like kind of pushed me, not on purpose, just to like be like, okay, like I'm coming.
Yeah.
No.
But no, I just full on just, and I was like, you bugged me, you bugged me,
Oh my
you did it, you
God.
bugged me,
Oh,
over and over again. And then, yeah, it was very embarrassing.
Yeah. Isn't that what a partner's for?
Yeah.
To experience
Yeah.
these embarrassing
Oh, yeah.
moments with. You
So
know?
many
Yeah.
times.
So many.
At least it was the same partner.
Yeah.
Sure, times a
My-
charm.
My head is very bruised today. It hurts a lot. And
Are
I'm
you allowed to get a tattoo with head trauma? Just as a girlfriend.
PTSD.
probably,
Yeah.
I pass out on the table. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
fucking
that's
hilarious.
new. Yes.
The next time that happens, though, it's gonna be like, okay.
If it happens again, I think there's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The bigger issue is just the consumption of how much alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it really makes it.
It happens. It really does.
Honestly.
Honestly. I have something for what's new too.
Oh.
It's nothing crazy. Actually, I'm not gonna sell myself short. So
It's fucking wild.
I know it's not wild, but it was honestly a big deal, and I realized it, and I was like, "Whoa!" I had a bit of an epiphany. So, I'm having sex with my partner, and he starts eating me out, and I was just like, "Whatever." I feel like I've been very out of tune with oral sex lately.
Okay.
For years, it turns out, because I haven't like allowed somebody to just eat me out until I come since I was in my last relationship, which was like 2+ years ago, 3 years ago at least, you know what I mean? And yeah, and just like he brought his head up from the depths, and he was like, does that feel okay? You never really direct me like when I'm giving you head, and I was like, huh. That's because I'm checked out. Not that it's bad, but I just like kind of gave up on allowing somebody to put in the work that it takes to make me come, and that's like a reflection of self-worth again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like saying that I deserve pleasure at somebody else's mouth. Like what?
Like
Um,
first and foremost,
yeah.
without having like anything else.
Yeah, and without just being like, okay, let's have sex now because I'm like, I'll probably take a while to come. I don't know if I'm gonna come. Just seeing it through and just like being selfish, because I feel like I give a lot during sex because it turns me on. But to take without being like insecure or you know what I mean is a celebration in itself. So
That's awesome.
thanks.
Yeah,
So yeah, I came
Wow.
from oral for the first time in such a long time, and just because I was like, yeah, eat this pussy, you know. So yeah.
Like, this pussy is a gift.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
just like, and yeah, it all just clicked into place. It was
Nice.
great. It was absolutely great. But yeah,
Amazing.
do you
Steph, what's new?
yeah, what's new in your
Like,
yeah?
Just spill the beans.
Yeah.
So, last night, my baby, my little love of my life, favorite vibrator, she went
What's-
to her grave.
No. What's her name? We had to name it.
Okay, now that I just got the name in my head, Shelby.
Shelby.
But she's dead.
We put her.
So
she's dead.
she's I showed
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
another
bring
one
up the
really bites the
picture.
dust.
But it was from like two and a half years ago from this like sketchy Korean website or something. And it honestly wasn't even that good. And I've been thinking for a while, I need to get a new vibrator anyways. But she
Yeah.
finally went to her death,
Yeah.
and this is her.
Shelby.
So it's like
A
You'll
little,
miss.
a little sucker, a little,
Yeah,
like a
you'll
sucker.
be
Face
sucker.
satisfier or whatever.
What does that feel like?
It's so good.
She-
Like so, I
Shelby.
yeah,
Wow.
Shelby, there she is.
Beautiful.
So like, I'm a little worried actually that now I'm like so wired to coming from
Like a suction-based
a
toy.
suction-based toy because my partner left one of their vibrators at my house and I was using it's like a wand.
What kind of one? What does it look
It's
like?
it's
Yeah.
like it's pink. It's kind of just like a small Hitachi, but it's like off brand or whatever.
Gotcha.
And then I was trying to use it because I wanted to masturbate, and it wasn't doing it for me. And I'm like a little worried that I'm only going to be able to come from a suction toy. So literally last night I was like so mad that because you know when you like masturbate and you like can feel that you're not going to come, you get so pissed off about it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like on
Or you didn't
Amazon,
come hard
literally
enough.
like ordering a new vibrator right in bed, and then like it said order in 5 minutes to get it delivered on Monday, and I'm like, it's like the Nicki Minaj song that's like, I'm typing it in so fast, and yeah, I'm getting it delivered on Monday because.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm getting a new one. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more powerful because my section one isn't that powerful.
Okay,
Yeah.
we gotta jump back because I'm
Yeah.
so curious
Yeah.
because none of us have a suction
Right.
one. I do.
I do.
Yes. I know. That's actually so
Stop
crazy
it.
that you're talking about that because there's hope for you. Because I only use Wandy, like
Yeah.
anytime I masturbate, because like it's the only one I want to use. But lately, all I've been using is the
Section.
penguin.
Oh,
what is it,
the penguin satisfier mini or
Satisfier
whatever.
Pro, whatever.
Yeah.
It's amazing now. Like I've literally been using it for the past like week. And I'm
Wow.
like,
Okay,
Is
I'm
it-
gonna charge mine.
yeah, charge it. It's
Yeah.
so
Oh,
good.
damn. I feel
feel
so
left
left
out.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys,
I
it's
saw
not
that.
even that expensive.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah, mine was
yours
$40.
is like 99, but on sale 79 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's been on sale a lot recently
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like a fake-ish one for $40 off of Amazon, so I'm hoping that because I'm a
Okay.
broke ass bitch.
Yeah.
And another thing, kind of go back to like you deserve pleasure, is that like I cannot even overstate how broke I am right now, but it's like kind of a fundamental need to like give yourself pleasure, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
masturbating is
Well,
a,
how's that gonna affect the rest of your day? Your self,
exactly
your,
like my
your self-worth.
yeah,
your-
it's like you need food to survive, you need that like release and that self-love to survive.
Yeah. If that's the way that you communicate with your body, you know what I mean? It's
Even
Exactly.
on Friday, I had a bunch of shit go down, and I was like literally having a complete breakdown.
Ah.
Anyway, so I'm like fucking bawling, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna masturbate because
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want to.
you're crying. You're like,
Yeah, and that goes back because I remember our conversation, and I was like, no, I feel like absolute garbage. I don't want to touch myself because I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't want I just don't want that release right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I need it,
yeah.
and then I can't find my vibrator anywhere.
Oh,
And you know
I
what?
should have just borrowed one of mine, honestly.
I know it was
Oh my
on
God.
Friday night, and I still can't find it. And I'm like, my fingers, I always was like, I masturbate with my fingers,
Yeah.
and I don't anymore. And now I'm like,
Now you like walked right over to the dark side and you've
Mhm.
gone to the point of no return.
Yeah.
It's not like, I play with myself first and then I just use my vibrator if I
Yeah.
feel like it. It's like, no, you need that good.
now I do.
That I feel like that's one of the problems that I face with the suction
Yeah.
ones, because like I can grab my porn, and I'll usually like, this is kind of, I feel kind of bad for this for some reason, but like I won't even like let myself get wet. I will like just take lube and like
Fucking same.
Yeah.
get it all
For like
going.
30 seconds or less.
Yeah,
Blast off.
I can come in like 30 seconds with it, which is like, I don't know, I'm worried that I'm gonna get like desensitized. So
We were talking about this earlier when I picked you up, and from what I've read and understood,
Right.
it is not necessarily, of course, you're going to get used to something, but I think the idea is more so that your brain has associated
That thing.
your I don't know what it's called, but let's say your Satisfier Pro or whatever with orgasm
Mhm.
versus your hand or a wand.
Mhm.
You know, like it's just like how I've decided that in partnered sex, I'm gonna use a vibrator or whatever, or just come from something else, and then I decided to like click and be patient
Mhm.
and feel it out and like go back to basics and the excitement of using it, or like of getting oral for the first time, and decide to come that way.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
don't beat yourself up for
Yeah.
sure.
And I also think that sometimes like you just need to fucking come and then go to bed. Like it doesn't need to be like light the candles, drink a glass of wine, feeling yourself. Like sometimes you're like, fuck, I just want to come and then go to bed. So sometimes that's valid, right?
Yeah.
That is totally
And
valid.
it's like coming to the point where you just kind of like leave your vibrator, whatever, where it is, and you just sit in it for a
See?
moment, and you're like,
And that's
Yeah.
how I thought I lost it. So
Yeah.
I'm searching the bottom of my bed. I'm like
shaking the sheets.
because I remember last time I used it came, and I was like, no, I had my meditation. I was doing the dang thing. Like I was doing the whole thing.
Nice.
Blow out my candle. Then I'm like, whatever, pull my towel fucking that I have between my
Your
fucking
squirt
legs.
catcher.
my literally, so my
Your
squirt
squirt
catcher's on the
blanket.
ground. Thank you. I did it. And then I thought my vibrator was on my other side, but I can't find it. So
That's so annoying.
No one would have found it in your room and found a reason
that's
to
why
take
I
it.
was like, did someone throw this out? But why would they do that? I left a certain substance on my floor that is illegal, and I know my dad went into my room because he put stuff in my room. And I was like, that was right on my floor. So if he wouldn't have thrown those out, he would have thrown my vibrator out.
It's
Yeah.
true. Okay.
You just gotta like clean your whole room. That sucks, but
It's gotta be somewhere.
And it's not at your partner's house?
No, I asked. I'm not there.
Huh. That's tough. The case of the missing vibrators.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
But when you live at home with your dad and your brother, and you're like, where did it go?
It's like hot potato.
Do you have any pets? That
Yeah.
could-
Oh no, she's like this big.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's smaller than
small.
The vibrator,
Yeah.
the vibrator would eat her.
Yeah. Literally.
Her whole
Yeah.
body's like.
Oh, okay. Kind of moving on to Beat and Meet. Right, we're
Yeah.
kind of already there.
Yeah.
We fast
We
forwarded.
transition.
But
Yeah.
can we just talk about pegging
Oh.
for a sec? Because I heard that someone likes, just
You know
explain
what?
it.
Share.
Okay, so I've done a little bit of pegging in my day. Pegging is when typically a woman or someone that doesn't have a penis will penetrate typically a man or someone that does have a penis with a strap-on dildo. So, yeah, that's the very technical term for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that? Never mind. Go.
I was just gonna say, do you find a lot of enjoyment wearing it? Because I know in my when I was having sex with this person, she was like licking the dildo and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like wondering, do you get any enjoyment of like wearing it?
Not in like a sexual way, really. I kind of just like, I got a penis.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't really turn me on, but also I think it would turn me on more if I was doing it with a girl than if I was doing it with a guy, because
Okay.
I don't know, there's like something, it's like a different vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like, between like a man and a woman. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that I get when I'm pegging someone, it's more for the other person.
Okay.
I would say.
Tell us a little bit more, just before we get a little bit deeper into this, because you kind of touched on your experiences already. Tell us a little bit more about like your sexual preferences and stuff like that. Like, are you dominant? Are you submissive? Like, what are you into?
I'm like, I would say that I'm probably like 80% no, 80% sub, 20% dominant, and my partner is the exact same. They are very, very submissive as well. So we see other people to fill in the gaps, but my primary partnership, we're both huge subs, so we usually like take the L for the other person. Or we'll just kind of
like, who's gonna dom today?
yeah, no, literally. Or sometimes we manage to do things where we're both like subs, which is maybe like a story for another.
That's
another
kind of
episode.
hot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious.
Should I go into
Yeah,
it?
yes.
Okay, so this partner of mine has a penis, and sometimes, like the other day, I was on top. I'm like getting all.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I was on top, and I had a wand like on my clit, and then I put it on. Yeah, I'm like using this. I don't know. It's like a hot glue gun stick.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
It's a hot glue stick.
I've just been fidgeting with it. And then it was like, and then I took like the other and like the wand on my clit, and then like the wand on the tip of their penis, and then we just like the pressure from both of our bodies kind of held it together, and then we both like put our hands like not like tied up technically, but we kind of like, oh, we're not tied up, we like can't move. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
and then we were both like just buzzing away. Yeah, and so it was like we were both subs, which is
That's fucking
Wow.
hot.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So we're both huge subs. So whenever when I've pegged this person, it's been kind of like I'm taking it on because I love to make them feel good.
Yeah.
But it's not like my instinct to
Yeah.
be more of a dominant.
Okay.
person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
That's hot.
Love it. Okay, so how does like Kate, can we also go into how do you bring that up?
Yeah.
How
How
did
did
that
that
into that?
start
Because-
in your
Because who
relationship?
brought it up to who? And how did like I'm just trying to think of how would I
How would you
lay it-
approach a partner with that?
Okay, so
Beginner's guide to pegging.
yes,
Yes.
this is like so me and my partner got together. It's almost our 10-year anniversary next week.
Nice.
So we brought it. It was like early that we brought it up, and I think that from the beginning, this person is like kind of like a little twink, like kind of like you know when you look at someone, you're like you want to get pegged. You're like I can tell you probably want to get pegged. I feel like they just brought it up like pretty soon that they would want to get pegged.
And from what I've understood and from what I've gathered about this person, just like meeting them through your relationship is that they're very proud of who they are and they're
Yes.
not ashamed of any of like their kinks. Like, you know what I mean? Like we
Yes.
were chilling having dinner and they're like, you want to see my dildo? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, fuck yeah, like of
Yeah,
course.
Yeah, they're super proud, and we kind of, it was like love at first sight sort of thing. So we were very open with each other right away. But I think that if like I saw this tweet that this girl was talking to this guy and she's like, "Do you want me to peg you?" And he said, "Oh my god, no, ha ha ha." And then like 5 minutes later, he was like, "Well, actually, like, can you tell me more about it?" So I think that if you like bring it up, and then it might take them a little while because then they'll start to think about it. And they're like,
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
like, do I
they're like,
want
I'm curious about it.
Yeah. Once you feel like you're safe, you know?
Yeah, I think that honestly, I like, you know, pegging is a dominant thing. So if you go into it being like, do you want me to peg you? I think that is probably the best method. But I have only pegged one person, so that is kind of my like personal experience.
Okay.
But that's and then if you were a person wanting to receive the pegging, I think that like if you think that your partner's gonna think it's weird, you can maybe like bring other stuff up first. I would be like, can you put a finger in my butt?
Yeah.
Or do you want to eat my ass?
Yeah.
Or maybe like put a finger in their butt or put a butt plug in them or ask to get your own butt plug.
Yeah.
Just start bringing up butt stuff and then move to
Baby steps.
pegging. Yeah, because when I first got with this partner, like they tried to eat my ass on like the second date, and I was like something. I was like no. But now I'm like whatever. I don't even care. But
Yeah. And you kind of get used to how you have sex with someone specifically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, that can always change based on like your relationship and that dynamic, but you warm up to things.
True.
So always just like baby
Quite
steps.
literally with butt stuff.
Yeah.
Literally.
Ease it in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that.
So this is my ideal pegging timeline or whatever.
Timeline.
So I would start off with, it's like assuming this person has a penis, turn them around, and like I would have both of you kneeling on the bed.
Yeah.
It's a diagram.
Yeah, and then like
Explain
reach
it for the
around.
listeners.
This is like when you're like kind of feeling them up, and then reach around and start stroking them.
Okay,
a little,
wait.
because so
ASMR.
you're
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, the person's like kneeling in front of
So
you.
they're
No, turned around. Like you're kind of like
Their butt is to your crotch.
you're
Yeah.
behind them and reaching around.
yeah.
Gotcha.
This is like warm up, and you're
So
just
you're
like
stroking their dick
from around, and
Gotcha.
you're just kind of like putting them in their place, you know,
Oh.
getting them ready to be taken control of by
love it.
yourself. My little 5'2" ass, I'm like, yeah, that's right. You're my little bitch. And then once they're ready, bend them over, put that head in the pillow, and then
God damn. Okay.
and then middle finger. Make sure you cut your nails, and not the day of. Cut your nails like the day before because
so they're not sharp.
Because when you first cut them, they're gonna be really sharp, right? So cut them like the day before, or like file them down really soft, and then just start with, I would say probably like your middle finger, and then once you've been going at that for a little, like tons of lube.
What kind of
Yes.
lube do you use? What's your favorite?
I use fuck water.
I've heard really good things. I think
I
that's what I'm
have
gonna buy
that,
next.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like pretty inexpensive. Little goes a long way, I would
Yeah.
say. And then you go with 2 fingers, and then I would recommend getting into the harness and stuff before you start all this, right? Because it's so awkward getting into the harness. Yeah.
What kind of harness do you have? Do you have one of those like adjustable at every like hole harness?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's so awkward to get on. Like you're like, okay, 1 second, and then you just go and you're like trying to put it on. Yeah,
I was like,
Oh, so it's not really sexy.
oh my, it's not. It's sexy when it's on, but it's not sexy when you're trying to put it on. So that's why I
Okay.
say put it on before.
Gotcha.
And then just or if you have one that's easy to get the dildo in and out,
Mhm.
I would say put the dildo in a little, like up in and out a little, just with your
Oh.
hand,
Okay.
and then you're ready to fuck them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really do make them a bit like they're.
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah.
big.
And that's what they love about it.
Yeah.
It's like they like being taken advantage by.
Like,
a woman
I
or
can
whatever.
play the role, my friend. I
See,
can play the
that
role.
is so fucking hot to me because even when I'm like I haven't used a harness in a while, but even when I'm fucking somebody with a dildo, I'm like, I like kind of hold it in my pelvis area with my hand and like fuck them like that, and it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like I love it, absolutely love it.
I love wearing a strap on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, now I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, so what about your partners? Would they be interested?
Okay.
Pegging, I would say, is like
Right?
is specifically anal and
Yeah.
specifically from a woman to a man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's kind of
gender
like
isn't real.
no, but I'm saying
Wait, you
like
mean identities?
like yeah, like identities, or it's kind of the same as like if you were getting pegged. This is like my opinion, but if you were getting pegged, you wouldn't call that person daddy. You call them mommy.
Oh.
Do you know?
Okay,
Or like
so the power dynamic.
it's like a gendered power dynamic. In a way.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Because I feel like I mean if you were or like if I was getting analed or if a dude was doing anal to me, that wouldn't be pegging.
Yeah. Oh, of course not. It's
Right.
considered anal sex, which is weird because
Yeah, it's the same thing.
neither like me nor this person have a penis, but I'm fucking
But
them with a dildo and just being like it's fucking as if
Yeah.
it is my penis, like it's an extension of me.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're not fucking the ass.
No. Yeah, and we.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
On the same page.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, okay. So yeah. I don't know if we're gonna have to cut this out, but I think my partner kind of is like getting towards baby steps of like letting me put stuff in their ass. So we'll see how that goes. I know, you know, you just look at somebody and you're like, you want to be pegged.
That's what I said. That's literally what I said. Like he seriously, the second I saw your partner, I was like, they want to get pegged.
And I just, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, you don't even know, do you? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. We have done some like small things. Like I have done some small things to him. And
Like
again,
what? Like what?
I don't
Small
know if I can
things.
talk about them. 'cause he
Small-
might get upset.
Well,
We can edit it
we
out.
can edit it out. So share and then
Like
retract
fingers, but just one.
one at a
Okay.
time.
Yeah, just one.
Nice and slow.
And
Okay.
like,
Our butthole's weird.
yeah, they are. And I beat his ass.
Oh,
Which
I've
he
never
likes,
done that.
Which he likes, but he would never
Yeah.
want to do. Like he
Yeah.
would never want to be pegged
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I've asked him multiple times. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yes.
I don't know if I'd eat someone's ass, but I would definitely take them.
That's interesting to me that you wouldn't eat someone's ass,
I
even
know.
if it was freshly cleaned, even if it was out of the
If it
shower.
was freshly cleaned and they asked me to, absolutely, but I don't think ever eating an ass is hot to me. Like I'll like
Yeah.
kind of like kiss and like bite the side. Like
So regardless of like gender, you don't. It's not a thing for you.
I smack Dark's ass all the time, but I wouldn't eat it. It just doesn't turn me on.
When
But
you
it doesn't turn me on when people do it to me.
yeah, eating ass is like if it's like dry and clean and everything, it's like so it is so dry. It's not like eating pussy, I would say.
But
Or like
I
sucking dick.
love sucking dick, and dick isn't really dry, or isn't wet.
I think eating
I
ass
think
and
it's
sucking dick
wetter.
are super similar. I would say like
Eating ass and sucking dick.
like the mouth feel.
This
It's
is-
not like
I
a fucking
love-
line. Like
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways,
What about you?
The partner that I'm with right now, we had a conversation, and he like that's what he said was the number one thing he like didn't want to do, and I totally respect that. And I think for me, like I definitely consider myself a switch, but I would probably be more dominant in that situation if they wanted it. Like I definitely wouldn't be like, oh, like I want to peg you, you know.
Yeah.
It'd be them being like, I want you to peg me. So
You'd be like,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only ever been with one guy who like wanted me to eat his ass, but at the time I wasn't like ready for that. Like I just like I didn't want to do it, so I said no. But I think now I probably would.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially now because we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I think back then, honestly, saying back then, I would have been like, no way.
Yeah.
Not even now. Like, I don't get any enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't turn me on, but turning someone else on turns me on.
Yeah.
But pegging, I think fully like would turn me on.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, I think it would.
I think it would it's just like the power dynamic, and I just like, it's kind of like, part of it is like when I'm fucking someone else with a dildo, I'm like, fucking them how I want to be fucked. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, I
That's
don't know.
interesting.
But that's a weird thing to navigate because not everybody likes what you like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm too rough for my own
That
kids sometimes.
does bring me to a point though, not really on topic, but when you're with someone new, when you're having sex for the first time, just like see what they do. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously if you like it, but you literally learn so much
Yep.
about how someone likes to have to be fucked,
Yeah.
just the way that they fuck you.
Yes.
And if you pick up on those things, it's like, holy shit, I have the shortcut.
Yeah, literally.
You know?
I was doing that when kissing someone the other day, just kissing them, and then they kept stopping and teasing me, and I was like, "You like games?" You know what I mean? I was like, "Okay, I can play games."
You
yeah. But
I'm just noticing that.
yeah, listening. You know, not just throing yourself into it.
When it comes to a butthole, obviously you can't I would say that a butthole is a lot more delicate than a vagina, right?
Yeah.
You can pound a vagina pretty hard, but a butthole no, because one, you'll start plungering and there'll be poop everywhere, and two, it's just a little bit
Have you had that
delicate.
experience? I'm curious because all of our butt experiences have been not that much poop. You'll be fine.
Well, my partner always has a super clean butt, except for a couple times when we've been going at it for a really long time with one toy in and out, because then it kind of starts to plunger. That's what we call it. And then it kind of just starts to get. But it's not that bad. It's just you just take it out and you clean it up.
Sorry.
Yeah. So usually it's incredibly clean, but if you're going at it for a whole session of pegging until they come.
What is a session of pegging?
Yeah,
How long?
probably
Give us a
fuck.
time frame.
What's your stamina like? How long till you come?
Okay, so
sweating?
so most of the a lot of times I don't. I prefer to just use my hand when I'm pegging, and it's enough that your hand starts to cramp up. And also I'll be playing with their dick, and I'm trying to different hand positions so it doesn't get cramped. I'm this, playing with their dick like this. It's so fun.
between your two.
Yeah,
first
it's
fingers.
this, and
That's hilarious.
Yeah, probably a full session to till they come, and sometimes they won't come from anal because it might be a really new experience. It might be they might just not come from anal, because sometimes when you are pegging someone, their dick will go soft because it's a different kind of sex. Prostate stimulation is different than penis stimulation. So a lot of times their dick will go soft, but then a nice soft dick to play with play with a stress ball, or those things that you used to have when you were a kid that were
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's
Still don't know what they're called. I've been trying for years.
yeah, but they they might not come semen from anal,
Yeah.
but they might have a prostate orgasm, which is a little different.
Yeah, and I feel that goes for any type of penetrative
Yeah,
sex.
yeah, yeah.
Orgasm isn't, or any sex in general. Orgasm isn't necessarily the goal, or which type
Yeah.
of orgasm, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Pleasure is
So walk us through a prostate orgasm.
yeah.
Yeah, I would I was fucking my partner with a dildo and with my hand, a shit ton of lube in both areas.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's an accordion.
Steph.
No, I know.
Good job.
Yeah, I know. It's it's this. And plus, obviously I'm a small person. My partner is 5'11", 6 feet tall. So I'm but they said that it was they were on the edge of coming for 15 minutes, and then
Wow.
they went over the edge.
That's how
Do you know?
I feel.
Instead of it was and then they went over the edge. Do you know what I mean?
So
So
it's
it
more intensely pleasurable right from the beginning.
Yeah, and it was they were if I were to try right now, I could come immediately.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, that's not. That's how I feel.
I would say probably based on that, the orgasm is stretched.
Yeah.
Just like when we fucking
Yeah.
slowly take out the butt plug.
Yeah.
It probably feels like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, anal sex is. Everyone's homework is try something in your butt if you're comfortable enough.
Not just something, please.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Not just
Getting
something.
clear. We've done.
Throwback to that story we got sent in to us about somebody who was using a butt plug while they were fucking someone, and it shot into their butthole.
It
Wait,
happens.
Into the other person's butthole?
No, the person was riding dick, and the
That
butt
would be
plug
impressive.
Yeah.
just got their partner was pressing it a little bit, and it was a round base.
Oh god,
Yeah,
it
and
went
it went-
inside their butthole.
Yeah,
Oh my
it
God,
went
that's so
inside
scary.
their butthole. So real flared base. Maybe tie some some floss on the end and keep it on the doorknob. Yeah, like a tooth.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, try something in your butt. Just even if it's a finger while you like do something
Yeah,
else.
just kind of.
I don't really like a finger in there.
I do. I like a finger while I'm getting eaten out.
That
What?
fucking gets me off.
Oh my god, I want to try that.
Yeah. And if one doesn't work, try two.
Yeah.
If one just feels like a finger in your butt, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
try two. It's the stretch that
Yeah.
like you're like, holy shit.
And you feel like
Yeah.
filled out.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
gotta
you
try
have to
that. Fill the
right
fuck
now.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
Not right,
Right
now.
now. That came out wrong.
Subscribe to the Patreon and you get to see her try it right now.
Yeah, literally.
With my like blueberry finger.
Shoot to the ooey gooey, sticky icky, dirty, filthy, nasty center of it all. Today, we're going to talk about navigating mental illness, mental disorders, first steps to kind of like making your mental health your responsibility to a certain extent. Not trying to, you know, put any pressure on anybody, but that's been life, you know, these last few years. And Steph gave me some really fucking good advice the other day, and it led to this. So, bring us home.
Okay, so can
Tell us a
I
little bit
say
about-
like what you came to me with?
Yeah.
Or-
Oh,
okay.
of course. Oh, here. I honestly, you guys just might think I'm high energy, or that I'm just like an Aries, but I think I have ADHD, and I don't know. I don't want to take away from anyone's experience if they have like severe ADHD or anything like that, but I just kind of started putting pieces together because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Genuinely, I just have a bunch of symptoms and have a bunch of anxiety and like just depression and stuff, and it never quite seems like I have a handle on it even when I do. And that's been really challenging for me. So I was like, I just want to feel like I'm above water. And so it kind of clicked one day, and I was like, all through elementary school, my teachers would look at my parents and go, she's really smart, she gets straight A's, but she talks a lot and she cannot focus. And my parents are like, straight A's? Oh my God. Meanwhile, my teacher's looking at my parents and they're going, ADHD. And my parents are like, straight A's? What the fuck?
Yes.
So it was like, I need to do something about this. So I came to Steph for advice to ask what her experience was addressing mental health concerns in the medical system here in good old Edmonton, Alberta. And yeah, I think that's where you come in.
So I have a very long history of mental illness, mental health stuff. My bad mental health issues started like 10-ish years ago when I was around 12, 13.
Yup.
Yeah, you were earlier.
Heard
I'm
that.
sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was like 6th grade, bro.
Yeah,
But-
maybe even 5th grade. But anyways, so my like, we're going way back. This is gonna be like a life story, so like buckle in. So I'm 13 and I like get like outed as like I was self-harming, and my parents found out and got roped into it, and they kind of ridiculed me for it. And then they were like, but my mom was a little bit better, and she was like, yes, we'll get you help, we'll get you to a counselor. And then it was like possibly up to a year before I saw a counselor. So being ridiculed for it, and then being like, you don't care enough to get me within a year to a counselor, has set me up for a whole life of fucking hating the system. So this is gonna be like a little bit biased as well. But anyways, I tried on and off since from then to when I was 18 to like try to get my mental health better. Never really got anywhere. And then when I was 18, I was like, my parents aren't involved anymore. Now I can actually get to work with this. And then this is where the more like practical advice comes in.
Yeah.
So the way it worked for me is that I went to my general doctor, my family doctor, and she prescribed me Zoloft. I think it was only like, sorry?
What is that?
It's just it's a SSRI. So it like when you're depressed, you will like there's receptors, and then the serotonin shoots through them. But I think that this could be completely wrong. But when you're depressed, the serotonin goes through too fast and it doesn't stay in between. So when you have an SSRI, it's a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. It'll like make it go through slower. So serotonin stays in your brain longer.
Okay.
So I went on a little bit of that. It didn't really do anything. I kind of just like stopped taking it because I didn't really take it very seriously. And then when I was that was to treat the symptoms of sad mood, depression. But then I was like, there's something more going on here. So this is the journey that I had to go on to actually get a diagnosis, get a real therapist, get real meds. I went to my family doctor. She referred me to a psychiatrist. He referred me to another psychiatrist at the U of A that's like free. Had to wait probably like 3 months, 4 months to get to that appointment. And then she diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder. And then, do you want me to go into what that is? Okay,
just
so
for those who don't know.
right, so borderline personality disorder is like, I don't know, like people might get offended by this, but I say it's just like you're a fucking crazy bitch. Like you're impulsive, you see things in black and white, especially your relationships. You have a fear of abandonment or perceived abandonment. You're super impulsive, emotional. And so like bipolar will be like you have really, really high highs for like a month and then really, really low lows for a month. But then borderline is just you have in a day you'll have like 8 ups and downs. So it's not as intense because like I feel like also with bipolar you're more likely to like buy a flight to Jamaica and like when you're manic, but when you're borderline I think it's just like a little bit chiller, but it is like shorter highs and lows.
So I feel like that's kind of exhausting because you have so much energy and like motivation and whatever, even if you don't perceive it as like mania, but those highs are like short-lived, so you just crash so often and nothing feels sustained.
You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's borderline. And like people like if you aren't kind of like well versed in what borderline is, you'll see a person and you're just like they're crazy, they're so annoying, they're so bad in relationships. But that's just how we are. Please be nice to us. If you have someone in your life with borderline, we're fucking trying our best.
Yeah.
I got diagnosed with and this is what makes me so mad about the mental health system is that sometimes doctors can be such dicks. Like I was with this lady at the U of A and I'm sitting there unearthing my fucking trauma. I'm crying my eyes out for like 30 minutes and this bitch hasn't even offered me like a box of tissues. Like it's such a small thing, but I'm sitting there like alone in this cold ass office and she's like I'm not even kidding, like farther away than Gia's from me, like writing on her little notepad and I'm sitting alone in a chair crying and she like won't even, she's like, okay, so then what happened next that like caused you to not trust people? And I'm like, can I have a tissue box, please? So
that fucking sucks.
Yeah. She just made me feel like shit. And then I came with like, I'd done my research and I was like, here are the symptoms that I have. I thought that I was bipolar or schizophrenic. Like I thought it was really bad. And she was like, no. Like she made me feel so stupid. And like, doctors can be so cold sometimes. Yeah. So anyways, I get diagnosed with borderline. She sends me back to my family doctor, and my family doctor refers me to the like counselor at my primary care network. So all of this so far has been free, which I'm like so grateful for, and I know that that's like so privileged that I've been able to do all this for free. However, it took me like a year to get to the point of having a counselor that I can book like weekly or whatever. The thing is, though, is that she only works 1 day a week. So you have to call on the 1st of the month. And if you miss, because then, like, on October 1st, the bookings for November open. So if you don't call by October 1st, you're going to have to wait until December to see them. So as someone that has a cluster of symptoms, that has, like, ADHD flavor, I forget. I fucking forget to go to book my doctor's appointments.
And life is crazy.
And so I'm like, great, now I'm not going to see my therapist for 8 weeks. That is like the journey that you have to go through in this system to get mental health care. And I'm so glad that that I can do this like for free and stuff, but it's still it's really like discouraging.
Yeah. It's been tough, but take a moment to be proud of yourself for sure, because that's a lot of like with that symptom cluster, you've stuck it out and followed through and continued to put yourself first in a system that doesn't necessarily want to support you in certain ways.
And like sought out the help just for yourself. Like you didn't really, it doesn't sound like you had very much help in any of that.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get any help from like doctors and stuff. So it's like you seeking
it's like
that
against
help.
all odds.
Yeah, literally. And it's just like, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again.
Yeah. Yeah, it honestly, like, so if you're out there and someone's like, go to therapy, it's not that simple. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, be prepared. It's not gonna be like you walk into the first therapist office and she makes you so happy and you walk away
Yeah.
with your depression cured. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen like that, especially if you have to go through all the paperwork and all of the fucking bullshit and just bouncing between doctors and getting referrals and everything.
Dude.
I'm sorry, it is no walk in the park, but yeah, it's worth it for sure.
My therapist literally said, I don't think you need therapy anymore. And I was, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Like trusting this person because I've trusted them for however many months or whatever. And they're like, yeah, so the rest is up to you. And I was
Bitch,
like,
that's why I'm here.
no, literally. And it's
That's
discouraged
horrible.
me so much. And like, that's why it's been like hard to go back. Is because like I don't want to go to that place, and it's just like turned into a snowball again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because that validation you kind of like seek, or just like needing a place to be heard. If like you're told that place, like that, you know what I mean? It's not for you anymore. Coupling that with whatever other past trauma I have, it's like okay.
And like, look, that was so long ago, and you haven't gone back, and it's just like,
I've done other things. Though.
no, but still, like that discouragement, just like you need that habit. Like you just need to have your foot in the door and continue to go every like whatever couple months or whatever.
Yeah.
But her just being like, bye,
Like tough.
it's just like
Yeah, it was like okay because
Like,
I
do your
personally
job.
think like therapy is for everybody.
yeah, it is.
Like it's just a normal place to decompress, to take care of yourself mentally, to have an unbiased third party opinion for like your emotions or fights or you know like life decisions, you know what I mean? But to just be like, yeah, like bye. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm fixed. You know what I mean? And that's not the case. And then it's like from you know, like communities of like support system, it's like go do this, and then from the other side it's like do it by yourself, and it's like what the fuck am I supposed to do from here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just like thank God you said that because it is so much easier said than done. Even if all it takes is picking up a fucking phone and making an appointment, there's so much more going on than that.
Yeah.
So much more.
Yeah, and I don't mean to discourage anyone that's like listening to be like, I'm never gonna be able to get help, because you can
No.
and you're worth it. I'm just letting you know, like the system that we're in fucking sucks and it doesn't care about people that are mentally ill, and it's gonna puts so many blockages up in front of you. So I'm sorry, but
And maybe people have wonderful experiences
Yeah.
like getting that therapist in the beginning, super fucking easy. And I didn't pay a cent. At the 108 Street building downtown. It's free, and you go to the 5th floor and just make your appointment. I've had people who've gone to that same place though and not walked away with an appointment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Questions?
What do you guys go see therapists or anything?
I used to. I stopped. I started therapy over COVID, but it was just through my mom's like work benefits. So it was only like an 8-session thing that I got for free, and then if I wanted more, I would have to like pay. I did try and get through like the therapist that my doctor recommended, but it took 2 months to get like even a call from them. Like I had to be on the wait list. So I think from that perspective, like I'm happy I had the other option, but for those that don't, like that 2 months, like that sucks. Obviously,
Yeah.
wait, right?
What place did you go see therapy for online? Because a lot of people have benefits. Like
Yeah.
I honestly I don't know what it was called. I'll like insert it in the description if I find it. But my mom works for the federal government, so it was like through them, and then I literally just like call a number, and then it's like over the phone. Like I never met with her in person, which honestly is better for me. But
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. How was your experience over the 8 weeks? What did
I
you-
liked it. It definitely helped me. Like the first, like I would say, like the first 4 sessions really helped me, and then the last 4 was kind of like the same with you. How she was like, "Oh, like I think you're okay now." Like just because I was getting better, she was like, "Oh, like it sounds like you won't be needing to buy like any more sessions," you know. And I was just like,
what do you
"Yeah." Like,
I think they
still
think
fucked
if
up,
they
but,
just
like,
right, like, and is it like, do they think if they just like encourage you enough and
Yeah,
go, you
maybe.
got this?
Yeah, it's weird that they like are trying to get more business. I don't know, like I'm looking at it like a businesswoman, but like why wouldn't they be like, yes, you're so fucked up, come from more.
They'll prescribe drugs like that, no problem.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
interesting. And for you?
I personally have never actually gone to therapy. When I was first diagnosed, quite a few years ago, there in my doctor's office they had like a person. It wasn't, I don't know what he did, but
I think it might be the same thing that my therapist is. That it's just kind of like a counselor, like not necessarily
Yes.
a therapist or a psychiatrist, but they are like they're supposed to help you.
Yeah.
with mental health. Yeah.
I only went once, and he first of all I didn't like him, but I don't know why, but he was trying to get me to do these breathing exercises, and he would like demonstrate them, and he'd be like, "No, you try," and I was like, "No, I don't want to," and he was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. That's not gonna fix me."
Yeah.
What? Anyways, so that's the only real experience I've had, but I know I need therapy. I just don't know how to get from where I am to where I need to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Is that people just say go to therapy. It's like, well, how? I think that
How?
if-
Where? Who?
Yeah.
Like.
I would say that the first step is to go to your family doctor and ask for a referral, or just be straight up and tell them. And they might like my family doctor prescribed me antidepressants right off the bat. Like I
Yep.
immediately
Yeah,
asked. So if you want, you can do that sort of thing. But yeah.
I think you probably have some good advice because you've been dealing and like learning a lot about mental health and just like talking and sharing and like, you know. So what do you have about getting started and like I feel like encouraging somebody to take that step for themselves?
Well, now you lost me because
Talk about what you want to talk about.
well, the only thing I would have to add is like just like sit therapy.
Yeah.
So like subconscious imprinting
Can I
therapy.
cut in
Yeah.
just really quickly? Sorry. I don't find it easy to talk to people who I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And I know you,
Yeah.
which obviously made a difference. But
Yeah.
when you did my sit session, I just found it so easy.
Oh,
Like I
really?
wasn't like, I don't want to tell her this. I just literally it just came out.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, that makes me feel so good. Thanks.
Whoa.
Well, we'll do more.
I have lots of blockages.
Yeah, so sit. So I got it done a few times, and then I took the course. So it's like through statement work. So it's funny because you like have to do the breathing exercises because it just helps like relax your mind. But
But it didn't feel forced with
no,
me.
I wouldn't like follow me.
No.
In for four.
Follow me, Maddie. Like that I totally get.
Yeah.
May I interrupt?
Yeah.
What's it for those who don't know?
So subconscious imprinting. So it's like working with just the body. It's kind of same like bars, something similar to Reiki, except you're doing statements. But it's just energy work.
Mhm.
So you're healing the traumas that are caught in the body. Because every time something traumatic, it doesn't even have to be like traumatic in a huge grand like scale, but something that's
the score.
something that's traumatic to your body in the way that you think and the patterns that you have now. So it's just removing them from different spots in the body through like a thing of statements. And then it works and people stop having like chronic pain. And
Yeah.
okay, let's go
Okay.
into it. How is your anxiety?
My anxiety? What have I been doing lately?
Just you know what? Tell me about the sit.
Okay. Well, first things first. Not that I didn't think it was going to be effective, but when you first told me like you're going to be tired, you're going to be hungry, I was like, I'm fucking not.
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
talking about? And then you left, and I ran some errands, and I came back home, and I was like, why do I feel like I got hit by a train?
Yeah.
And then
An
that's what he
emotional
said.
hangover.
And the
Literally.
next day, I couldn't even move.
Yeah.
I was so tired. I was
Yeah.
so hungry. I was like,
Yeah.
she was
Bro,
right. It was
we-
crazy.
Sorry to cut you off.
No,
I'm so
no, no.
sorry. We filmed the day after Emily did mine, and you were like, you noticed that I was very, very quiet because we're sitting in my car, and I just don't have the energy to say a goddamn thing. And usually it's like, hey, how are you? What are you up to? And we just parked, and I was like, and Emily was like, so, did this today? I was like, nice. Like, I just could not. It really wipes you out, but you do feel like, even when you're breathing during the statements, like sometimes I notice I shudder, and that's how I know, like, I don't know, like I'm guessing because you know a lot more about it than I do. But if I shudder while I breathe out after a statement, it feels like my body's like more
Letting
so
go.
like
Good.
releasing it and like or almost resisting against releasing it, so you know it's kind of working. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Something just struggled and it lost. You know?
Yeah, and the reason why you're so tired is it's like your body's creating a whole new like thought pattern and like
Mhm.
way of doing things.
Mhm.
And you're hungry because your brain just like needs the sugar because of how much like emotional shit it's going through.
Yeah.
And your brain is rewiring itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is sit therapy something that it's like you don't need a prescription for it.
Nope.
You can just Google sit practitioners near me.
Yeah, like I'm taking the course.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like a good alternative if you think that you don't want to go through the whole bureaucratic mess of like taking a year to even get to a therapist. Maybe this is something that you can try.
Yeah.
It totally is something that you can try. Even in the like, just working on certain things that you know add to it, and just like dealing with those things, and then while you're still waiting to see your regular therapist or your doctor. But yeah, so
And I found. Sorry, you were gonna say something.
No, you go first.
I found in my experiences with sit, I've just had it done to me a couple times, twice I think, 3 times.
4 maybe.
No, it was 3. And it's kind of like you deal with a few things at once. And personally, for someone who's gone to short-term therapy and long-term therapy, it feels like you know when you get a massage and it's very relaxing and you come out and you feel good, but you don't really feel like anything like changed.
Mhm.
Sit feels like something fucking changed
oh,
because
that's awesome.
yeah, like it's like something that's like you come out and you're like, okay, like I just did like a fucking weekend boot camp. I have an ass now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your body really, I don't know. You just
Oh,
feel
good.
different. So thanks.
What do you feel about it?
Okay, so I wouldn't say I feel less anxious, but a lot of the things you said made me think, and I started to like process things. And when you told me the reason I don't take care of myself is because I subconsciously don't believe I deserve to.
Yep.
I was like, holy shit, she's right. And then I told that to my partner, and now every time he comes home from work, because I don't eat. He's like, have you eaten today? You need to eat, because I told him what you said.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm like,
amazing.
Oh,
And are you eating?
No.
But she's doing the best.
She
that
knows
she
the
can.
first step is recognizing it.
Yeah.
I'm
But
trying. I
that's
just don't
good.
have an appetite like 24/7.
Okay, at least you're trying though, which is so awesome. I've gotten sit for lots of things. My last sit session that I got done, and by the way, by the time this podcast is probably out, I'll be certified, so you can just come to me for sit.
Yeah.
But I was getting one done the other day, and I was like, I have so much subconscious shit about, like being with a woman. I know it because how I was raised, like just traditionally.
Totally.
And especially being Christian, or however I was raised. So I was like, yeah, I want to get rid of this. And I was so sad after I felt like I got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
But now she was even like, something like changed in you. And I was like, whoa, it totally was, because just like rewiring the patterns that subconsciously I have learned about a relationship and a traditional relationship and what it should be. And I was like, yeah, I gotta get rid of that. And it actually worked.
I want to do a sit session on being with a woman.
Yeah.
Because I've been. Sorry, this isn't about me. That it kind of reminded me about what you said, though. What you just said. Sorry, what Emily just said reminds me about what Stephanie just said. For those who are listening, about the male gaze. What did you say earlier?
The internal male
Internalized
gaze.
male gaze, kind of, versus, and also
That's-
meets religion, which
And those
you
things
know.
can easily be like helped with sit.
Yeah.
Or even bars. Like it can be helped with
Mhm.
all of that.
Will you walk us through, G, what bars are? We've mentioned them a few times today.
Yeah. So bars is part of like access consciousness.
And
Yeah.
that's what my course is kind of based on too.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. So it's like same idea, like statements and stuff as well. But bars is like the actual like physical touching of like pressure points on your head. So it's basically like releasing different parts. Like I'm the worst at remembering, but there's like a sexual part. There's like money, freedom. Like there's just a bunch of different spots on your head. Those are some examples, and then you just go through touching those pressure points and basically just releasing all the energy there. And same idea, you feel like sometimes awful after, like you just need sugar, you just need salt so bad, and like electrolytes, you know. But
Same idea.
Gee,
That's
how
crazy.
cool would it be if I did sit on someone while you did bars on someone?
Whoa. They would die. They'd just be like,
Right?
Yeah.
That would
Just
be
passes away.
yeah.
the next full moon is on
Crazy.
November 30th.
Oh,
No, that's the new moon.
No, the new moon's right
Is it
now.
new
Oh,
yeah,
new
new
moon.
moon is today.
Because
Full
October
moon. Yeah.
31st was the full moon.
New moon is still powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let
Oh,
it, don't.
Yeah,
It
new moon
is
is
so
where you
powerful.
like set up what you're gonna do on the full moon.
Whoa.
It's for new beginnings.
Exactly.
Whoa. And here we are talking about self-help and mental
Yeah.
health and
You know what I just realized? Because you were talking about head. My headaches. I haven't got any headaches.
Everybody, just take this in. Oh my God. Okay, can you explain that?
Okay,
It's so cool.
So basically, the past month, I would say, around 9 p.m., maybe a little bit later, I started to get really bad headaches, around my temples.
For how long have you had that?
I want to say it started a month ago, maybe a little bit longer, and I had no idea where it came from because I'm not a person that struggles with headaches. I literally probably could have listed how many headaches I've had in my life on one hand before that. I just don't get headaches, and they're so painful. I can't sleep. I can't do anything. It's just so painful. So when Em did her sit session on me, I was like, I don't know if this is relevant, but I have headaches, and I haven't had a headache since she came over on Tuesday, and it's Sunday. I
That
haven't
was
had
like
any.
last Tuesday, right?
When was this past?
Oh yeah, that was. Wow, the week is long.
with all that emotional
Yeah.
shit you're processing
Yeah.
for other people too.
That
Yeah.
is so awesome. So thank you.
Wow.
It's much better.
Okay, well, sweet. We'll jump right on into another one.
That's
Please.
amazing.
Okay.
Before we move on, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
When are you gonna do a sit session on your jaw?
On my jaw?
Yeah. Chew so the crowd can hear you. I heard you.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if that can be. It's shake.
Stop. No.
Emily's jaw hinges every time she opens it.
You need to fix
It's
Yeah.
confirmed.
I went for a massage with an amazing therapist, and she was scraping my jaw. She was because she works in the orthodontics, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The program at the U of A, and she was like, "You have one of the top 5 worst jaws I've ever seen."
Oh,
Holy
nice.
shit.
Thank you.
I'm like, thank you. So I had my jade roller while I was washing my face, and I'm trying to scrape my jaw with my jade roller, and I'm like,
God.
You should use I was at Jada's apartment right before this, and I was using her clean magic wand, the Hitachi,
Oh yeah.
all over my body. I was like,
Yeah.
because it's way too intense to use on your, personally, in my opinion, way too intense to use on my vagina. But I was on my shoulders,
multifunctional.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a body massager.
yes.
But wow, let's just take a moment. Thank you everybody for sharing so much just vulnerability with
That's
their
cool. We got into
information.
some alternative therapies too.
Yes.
Because, I think that it's so important, especially if you just need that kind of coming back to earth, to ground, from you're up in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and there's so much stuff out there that you don't need to go through the whole health system to get mental health help. There's
Yep.
so many resources online, and
Yeah.
maybe your friend does sit therapy. So
I do.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So just don't lose hope.
Yeah.
There's help out there.
There really is. Reading a book, getting a massage.
Mhm.
Other ways to
And
release.
practice and being spiritual. I always go, whether you believe in God, whether you're a witch, whether you like your little crystals, whether being spiritual to you just means going on a walk in nature. Oh my god, it sounds so fucking cheesy, but
No, I love
yeah,
that.
just
Connect with something
never
bigger than yourself.
never forget your spirituality. It's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Totally agree.
That's crazy. Okay, I think this is exciting. We kind of have a reveal, but it's from somebody. I think it's time for
Do you-
comments,
do you
views,
know
and
what it
concerns.
is?
No.
No.
You know what it
So,
is?
Well, I don't know.
so welcome to comments, views, and concerns. Today,
Are you talking about that?
yeah,
Okay.
because you said you wanted to do it for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were just talking like you knew what it is. So I'm like, what is it?
I see. We have a gift from a friend,
Mhm.
a friend/fan, A friend, a
Friend.
fan/friend.
I don't.
Friend.
A friend.
A
Because
friend.
I don't know at all what it is.
Friend.
And if you feel it, like, Steph, could you grab it?
Yeah, would you grab it? So yeah, this is our.
There's also, she told me of something coming, and
Uh-oh.
not like coming, but like, I know, right?
Okay, it feels like a page. No, wait. I'm confused.
Okay, well, so this is obviously a message. It's not quite a story, it's not quite advice, but this is a message somebody wants us here at Foreplay to take. So why don't we all just feel it for a moment?
Yeah, it kind of feels like a picture. There, you
Yeah.
probably only hear the paper crackling.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a
Do you want
picture.
these?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, everybody touched it.
Yeah, no, it has
Super spreader event.
Oh.
Something popped out.
Do they want their name said?
I don't know.
You don't know who gave it?
I know. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Sorry, that was a
I don't
dumb
know if she wants her name said, but
Oh, it's two things.
Oh! Okay, so explain what it is. This is amazing.
Oh my
goodness!
Whoa!
We
just
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around.
Oh yeah,
We
right.
just got art.
Okay, wait.
Wait. Oh my gosh, we can put those
Oh,
there.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so our
They'll
if
go
you
there instead.
if you would have noticed, our foreplay sign has no longer.
She's dead. She's with Shelby.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
We get it.
Right.
It looked like shit.
But we tried really, really hard.
Yeah.
But
This is awesome.
now we have
These
these
are
really.
awesome.
Oh my
God, I
god!
want to do that.
I literally, I can do it right now. Yeah, hang them on.
Oh my gosh! Who would have thought that it would be fate that we took down that
Yes.
ugly sign today?
And we were
Yes.
gonna leave the sign up, and you're like, eh.
Okay,
But also, if you, I mean, sorry, everyone that listens, they are our friend. But if
Yeah.
you guys have like cool stuff that you can put towards our studio,
Oh my god, yeah.
that would be so fun.
And you'll get to see it in the background.
Yeah, we'll put it up everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. So yes, thank you so much to who gave it to us. I don't know if you want me to say your name, but we'll just leave it out for now.
if anything, we can take a photo of it.
We
and
can
take
link
that
it to
later.
below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, that's awesome.
Amazing.
Wow, it looks so good.
Okay. With
Wow.
that, thanks for listening, everybody. If you don't already, please go and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We are so happy to finally be on there now. This has been like a long time coming, and we're so proud. Leave us a review, subscribe, hit up our Spotify, YouTube, soon to hit the streets, Patreon, and we will chat
Thank
with
you.
you. Yeah, thank
Yes.
you, Steph,
Thanks for having
for
me.
coming and sharing.
This is awesome. I'm so excited to be on here. I love you guys. This was so fun. And I have a couple of ideas for possibly another guest star episode. So.
Oh.
Of course.
Yes.
Link all your stuff back down below.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm like, let us know what you got going on.
Yeah, I don't have literally anything to plug because nothing on earth is happening right now because of the play.
We're just surviving, but like in the best way possible.
Right.
So thank you again for surviving with us. We will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.